quarterback Ricky Ray. New dud, same old story for him. Another impressive performance to start Week 8. And he and the Argos finishing Week 8 against the BC Lions coming up. Talk about experience between Ricky Ray and this guy, Kevin Glenn. 340 career starts in the Canadian Football League. And there is your reigning Offensive Player of the Week for his work against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Getting set for Toronto. We're getting set as well. Hello there and welcome to the CFL on TSN. Rod Smith with Milt Stegall, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz. Just think of what Kevin Glenn has done and yet still sometimes has trouble shaking that backup label. Now, he knew when the Lions brought him in, Travis Lulay couldn't start the season because of his shoulder, and so Kevin Glenn probably felt it's inevitable. A lot of people feel it's inevitable, Milt. Travis Lulay is going to be back as the starting quarterback on this team, but as long as BC is still winning, I'm just wondering how and how soon this transition can be made.
Well, I think it'll be another 2 to 3 weeks, and I think when you see Travis Lulay, he won't be in the starting role. I think they'll gradually work him in. He's coming off a major shoulder surgery, and I don't think they just want to throw him in there. He's their future, and you don't want to jeopardize your future. But I think regardless if Kevin Glenn is playing well or if not, he will be their starter for another 2 to 3 weeks.
I don't know the time frame on it because I'm not sure where Travis is physically, but I know it can't be gradual because now you're going to start messing around with both quarterbacks' type of rhythm. I think it's going to be quick and decisive when they make that. But if it ain't fixed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And to me, that's the situation right now with Kevin Glenn. He's rolling along. That buys Travis some valuable time down the road. But when it does happen, it's going to be Travis's team. It's quick, it's decisive, and Kevin knows that, and they're moving forward.
As long as he's playing well, every football player gets a grade at the end of the game, and hopefully you've graded out well. If Kevin Glenn continues to grade out well as an individual player, if he's in the 90th percentile in his grades, he's going to keep this job for an extended period of time. But if they anticipate any form of regression, or if he has a burst of games where he's grading out 75%, 70%, you're going to see Travis pretty quick.
Even if they're winning?
If he is regressing, they're going to put Travis.
Even if they're winning?
Yes.
I think it's about, it's just not the present. It's the future we're talking about here for the franchise player, Travis Lulay. So you can't rush it. If he's not ready, if he can't make all the throws when the real bullets are flying, when he's torquing on his arm like he can't do in practice, then I tell you, they're not going to go with him until he's ready. But when they do, it's going to be quick.
Definitive word? We haven't talked the last about this, to be sure. Well, we're getting set for kick. Argos started the week on Tuesday night with a win over Winnipeg, looking to go 2 straight at home and get to 4-4. Kickoff.
And a matchup of the 2011 and 12 Grey Cup champions. It's the Lions and Argos in their signature look jerseys tonight with the roof open at Rogers Center.
Two of the most accomplished quarterbacks in CFL history go head-to-head tonight. Ricky Ray, 548 yards away from 50,000. Remote chance he could get there tonight, probably more likely in their next game. And Kevin Glenn with 141 yards tonight will pass Doug Flutie and move into 8th spot all-time, over 40,000 yards passing for Glenn.
Mike Benevides' Lions got over 500 for the first time this season with a 36-29 victory over the Ticats at home last week. On the other sideline, chance for Scott Milanovich's Argos to get to 500. They've only had 4 days to prep for this after beating the Bombers 38-21 here on Tuesday night. Needing a win to get to 500. 2 teams split last year. Tim Brown into the lineup with the injury to Andrew Harris, who misses at least this week. Lions hope that is all. And a look at the signature jerseys. I think they call them signature because the numbers are tough to read, just like the autographs of the guys, but we will persevere here tonight. Tim Brown from the 10-yard line with the return, and Brown gets outside and gets beyond the 40-yard line. Good return for Tim Brown with fresh legs to set things up for Kevin Glenn, coming off an Offensive Player of the Week game last week against the Ticats.
Mentioned Andrew Harris. He's out of the lineup with a sprained ankle. That means Stephon Logan will get the ball out of the backfield, be the featured tailback. First time in 5 years that the Lions have had 2 receivers over 100 yards in a game. That was last week against Hamilton. Manny Arsenault and Sean Moore both over 100 in that one.
Starters to watch brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard. There's the fake pitch to Logan, and the ball batted in the air and incomplete. Logan Harrell was in the neighborhood. A couple of interceptions for Glenn last week. Both were on tip footballs.
Tristan Opalugo is going at it again. out of the gate, along with Harrell, and he leads the team with 5 quarterback sacks. Moulton's back in, Antoine Moulton back in at the linebacking core. He's going to play tonight for Jamie Robinson, who's hurt. Jalil Carter has been their best cover guy. He'll play corner tonight for the Argos.
So 2nd and 10. And Glenn changes the call. They rush 6. Underneath it goes. The pass complete. It'll be short of the first down. The catch by Marco Iannuzzi up at the 49. So a 2-0 to start for an Argo defense that's vastly improved in the last month.
Boy, is it ever. Playing very good football of late. Last 2 games, allowing under 100 yards rushing per game. Improving game in and game out in that Argo defense.
Brendan Smith back on the return, trying to bounce it outside. Now he'll cut back right into the traffic and be dropped inside the 15-yard line. Tackle made by Casey Chin, the Simon Fraser product.
Absolutely. Ricky Ray leads the offense out for the Toronto Argonauts. Now they're going to have a different tailback. The tailback that finished the game is Curtis Steele. The guy who started it was Steve Slayton. It'll be Steele after his 9.2-yard average and just shy of 100 yards and basically the second half on Tuesday against Winnipeg. Jason Barnes is back in the lineup in the receiving corps. Ricky Ray, we mentioned, 548 away from 50,000, probably in Edmonton. Biggest game of his career was last year, just over 500.
Number 1 pass team against the number 1 pass defense, and the handoff to Steele. Check that, Jeremiah Johnson with the run up to the 19.
The leaders for the BC Lions this year has been a newcomer, Alex Bazzi, who plays at that rush end position, leads the team in sacks with 6. One change in the secondary. Dante Marsh is out due to injury. He's got a hamstring. Ronnie Yell will move to that spot. They'll put TJ Lee at the wide side corner, and Solomon Elamimi tackling everything.
Yeah. And by the way, Bazzi was 6 sacks the last 4 games. They send pressure. Ray stands in, throws a completion and a first down. And the pass is caught by Spencer Watt. Touchdown on Tuesday night for Watt.
Their personal best, 2014 for both the Canadian receivers in this lineup. Spencer Watt had a big night, so did Mike Bradwell.
Another Simon Fraser guy. You're off to a good start.
I love it. Simon Fraser representing here early in this one.
10-yard completion and a first down for the Argos up at the 30. Steele is the tailback, takes the handoff, and a good first down run, but dropped the football. You see who got on it. Lions think they've got it. No, they're saying Argo football. Kareem Smith was battling there, and somehow the Argos ended up back on it.
Well, on Tuesday night, Steve Slayton, who's not in the lineup and dressed tonight because of injury, but started the game with a couple of fumbles. That's why Curtis Steele got to see more playing time, and when he did, he took full advantage of that playing time. 92 yards rushing, had a touchdown, that 9.2-yard average. He gets back on that football quickly.
Yeah, clearly the ball was out before he hit the dirt. 2nd and 4, they fake the sweep. Ray stands in, crosser, Steele, and he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good tackle by guess who? Solomon Elamimian with tackle number 55 on the year.
Take a look at Steele's work on Tuesday against Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He did a lot of different looks. He had just the 10 carries, but he made sure he took advantage of his opportunity. That's what great players do. If you're not in the starting lineup, you may get a chance to play if you're dressed, and when you do, just make it happen, and then next thing you know, getting more playing time, and that's what we're seeing tonight. Now, as I mentioned, Steve Slayton is hurt. Put Jeremiah Johnson back on the roster for Slayton.
That's how close he is to the first down. Only hesitation with playing Steele a lot on offense is he is so valuable to the team on special teams. Had a 2-touchdown game last year, much like the Tuesday game last year against BC, with a running touchdown and a receiving touchdown. Mentioned that the two teams split last year. The win was for Toronto was here, and it was the Zach Galaro show in a breakout game for the young quarterback now with Hamilton. So Mitch Giel in And the short yardage team on 3rd down, and he'll plunge and get across the 40 to get a fresh set of downs. Argos lead the league in yards at 389 per game. And the Lion defense, second best, second stingiest in surrendering yards. So the matchups are interesting right across the board.
Well, Scott Milenovich needed to get more balance in the offense. That's why he wanted to run the ball more on Tuesday. They did that. In fact, had their best rushing game as an offense all season long as a team. Over 170 yards rushing on Tuesday. That's the balance he wants to provide and give Ray some help.
First down, Ray stands in and he airs it out, and laying out for it, Spencer Watt couldn't reel it in as he got in behind coverage.
Second down, Argonauts.
Did on a layered post route coming from the right side of your screen, crosser, and then down that numbers, and Spencer Watt just about a half a foot from making that big catch.
Working against Torrey Williams, who gets the start at the strong side linebacker spot for the injured Josh Johnson. 2nd and 10. From the Argo 41, Ray, and that pass incomplete. Broken up on the corner by T.J. Lee, who gets his first start as they make adjustments without Dante Marsh tonight.
Well, Ronnie Yell was playing so aggressively at the wide side corner this year that they felt pretty comfortable moving him into the short side. Mark Washington just makes that adjustment and moves Ronnie Yell to Dante Marsh's spot, and T.J. Lee is going to play that wide side corner along with Ryan Phillips at the wide side halfback.
Scott Milenovich has just thrown the challenge flag, and
I was going to say, I saw
it was close.
Yeah, I was going to say I looked a little bit early.
Toronto is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. They believe it was defensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
And I've seen, you know, it looked like the contact made was just a split second early. Really haven't seen many of these called back when there was no call.
Yeah, looks like it, huh?
Yeah, it just looks like that contact was just a step early. The contact there, the ball arrives a split second later, and slow motion doesn't make any difference in this case because
Lions like T.J. Lee, had a couple of interceptions, almost had a third in the preseason against Calgary.
I like them working together too with Ryan Phillips. The veteran will play halfback beside him, and both come from Eastern Washington. So a little bit of a connection there, although different times. They didn't play together. Take a look at that. It was a little early on the contact. See if it was early enough to change the call made on the field. I think that's been the precedent with this pass interference challenge, that it's got to be pretty drastic to change the call on the field.
Although we had one Tuesday night that surprised us. Scott Milenovich won a challenge that was a lot closer than the ones we have seen overturned.
What surprises me a little bit is that this early in the game on this type of play that Scott Milenovich would use that challenge.
I thought the same. And do you think that because this team's coming off 4 days that a good start is essential?
Yeah, it's probably factors in, and that's a great point because they are now facing what Winnipeg faced last week when they beat Winnipeg, and that was in the second half, sort of late into the game where they started to get that edge on the Bombers. It was actually a close game until about the start of the fourth. The Bombers were on the short week on Tuesday, and now the Argos know what it's going to feel like.
After review, the ball was not tipped at the line of scrimmage, and the ruling on the field is confirmed. There was no pass interference on the play. It will be 3rd down.
It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, that one, again, I think what we're seeing in the precedent that's been set by the league and what they're trying to accomplish with this is it's going to have to be a real drastic miss for the flag to come out.
Well, I'm a little surprised. I'm not sure why the tip was referenced there. If the ball's not tipped, then it didn't really matter. I'm not sure why they clarified that the ball wasn't tipped, because that would have allowed the contact. There's Tim Brown on the return. He shakes off the first contact. It gets away. Only Swayze Waters back. Steele catch him from the trail position? He does. He saves a touchdown, but Tim Brown exploding for a 68-yard return. Flag down at the end of it.
I think the flag's going to be a horse collar.
44-yard punt, 68 on the return. And Tim Brown makes an impact early. Big kick return to start the game, and an even bigger punt return here.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Horse collar tackle. Toronto number 29. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So it moves it even closer. Kevin Glenn in scoring position with the Lions offense when we return to Toronto.
Curtis Steele's going to get the horse collar tackle at the end of this run by Brown and just kind of pulls him towards him, doesn't pull him down by it. That's the penalty that puts it half the distance. So in the green zone for Kevin Glenn.
Yeah, he's been patient, waiting his turn. Made an impact early, and now Stephon Logan straight ahead. And pounding down to the 3-yard line. Logan will get the bulk of the duty at running back in the absence of Andrew Harris.
51 carries so far this year offensively for Stephon Logan and 4.5-yard average. So he's going to want to break 1 or 2 tonight, try and get that average up a little bit. Running backs like to get that up over 5 yards.
All-purpose yards leader, Stephon Logan. Now up to 993. Second and goal. Back in his hands, cuts it back, and reaches for the end zone. Touchdown. What a great effort by Stephon Logan.
Boy, it really was. He was caught in the backfield, and he's still trying to look. The official that he was looking at didn't signal. The guy behind him actually signaled the touchdown, and he was still looking for the signal. But he made a couple guys miss in that backfield about 4 or 5 yards shy of the goal line. So tremendous second effort to get there. He still hasn't seen the signal he likes.
They're all looking at the line judge, and another official signal that does have to now clear video review as well.
Yes, it does, and it was very close. His knees touched down just outside the 1-yard line, and I'm just wondering if the ball crossed the plane. I think they're going to rule this a touchdown and go ahead and kick the extra point.
So a couple of Logan carries after the Tim Brown return. And they've got alignment problem here on the convert team, and Adam Bighill is late to the party. And Bighill now joins the fray.
You're going to probably take the delay of game here and back it up a bit. No big deal for on an extra point.
You didn't signal touchdown. Time count violation. BC number 12, 5-yard penalty.
And Mike Benavides has a good point. His personnel wasn't on the field because they were waiting for confirmation it was a touchdown.
They got confirmation, just didn't tell anybody.
Yeah. So they back it up. No problem for McCallum. Extra point's good. And the Lions strike first in Toronto with a 7-0 lead.
Down to the goal line, and great second effort in the backfield. There's the knee touching, but you can see the tip of the football just across the plane of the goal line was reviewed, and touchdown, extra point. A little bit longer for Paul McCallum, but an early lead here for the Lions.
Meeting between Andre Prue and Mike Benavides after the fact. There's Terrell Sinkfield back along with Jeremiah Johnson, but it will be Sinkfield with the return. And he is met at the 25 and brought down quickly. Keenan Parker there. And here's Ricky Ray going to try and answer the early Lion score.
10 different receivers Ray used last week. He gets Jason Barnes back in the lineup tonight, one of his starters back. Chad Owens still out. He's missed 4 games. Andre Dury missed 4. John Childs is out. Jason Barnes had missed 5.
And Maurice Mann, who looked so good in the last couple of games, replacing a lot of the injured personnel. He's now out for an extended period of time. Double tight ends to start. Ray in trouble and wrapped up and tossed down. There he is, Alex Bazzi, now 7 sacks in the last 21 quarters.
Alex Bazzi, nice push. He just attacks that tackle tight end and then gets that great push up the field, almost a bull rush out of Marshall University.
7th sack of the year for Bazzi, just the 3rd in the last 3 games surrendered by the Argos. 2nd and 17. Here they come again. Ray gets it away and overthrows Sinkfield, the intended target. Quick 2 and out for the Argos.
Pressure can make even the most accurate of passers inaccurate, and Ray just missed his target in a big way there. Either a mistake in the route running or Ray just trying to get rid of it to save another sack, because he was in the arms, I believe it was Kareem Smith.
So Swayze Waters to kick it away, and they go after him. High kick, and Tim Brown at his 45. Gets to midfield before he's brought down. Darvin Adams in on the tackle. 46 yards on the punt, 11 on the return. Stefan Logan early in this game already has a touchdown. The all-purpose yardage leader in the Canadian press, who is 31% of the Lions offense, missing tonight with an ankle injury.
Yeah, ranked 5th in the Canadian Football League with 58, just over 58 yards per game, and is out of the lineup. Stefan Logan, the feature back tonight for BC. They have that twins pack that they ran throughout the year with both in the backfield.
And we may see that tonight with Logan and Brown. Here is Logan getting away. What a nifty move that was as he slashes inside the 40. Well, that's shades of Andrew Harris, and Kevin Glenn told us that they're a lot alike.
Very similar. In the type and the style of play that they play. You know, our offense isn't going to change because Steph is in the game. We're pretty much, you're going to do some of the same thing. Nothing different between the two. One guy's just bigger than the other, but Steph is going to probably be mad about that one. But for the most part, they're very similar in their styles, and I think they're both 2 complete backs.
Well, it's the Logan show right now, as he already has 4 carries in the game. 29 yards.
Both complete backs. Both can catch out of the backfield, run the ball obviously very well, and both are good blockers. The difference is their styles and how they run. More of a downhill runner for Andrew Harris, and Stefan Logan more of a jitterbug type runner. So defensively, it's a little different to try and tackle Logan as it is to try and tackle Andrew Harris.
2nd and 6. 4 receivers wide side. Pass is caught on the slant, and another catch for Courtney Taylor, who has been so valuable on 2nd downs. His 16th 2nd down conversion catch, tops in the CFL.
Yeah, he's put together a real good season. Tied with reception too. I mentioned that tackling a smaller back, a quicker back like Logan. The difference between that and Andrew Harris, for a guy like Shammer, he's going to have to bow his neck against Andrew Harris and just sort of step in and get ready for big contact. He's got to keep his feet moving more now when it's Stefan Logan and all those little moves he makes in the hole.
First down. Glenn to pass, looking into the end zone, and incomplete, broken up by the corner. Brendan Smith intended for Manny Arsenault.
Manny Arsenault, one of the 2 receivers over 100 in the game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He was the deep threat, has 4 catches, over 30 yards on the season. Pretty good coverage right there. Brendan Smith right with him. And got his hands up in the face mask and got away with that one.
So it's 2nd and 10.
Just trying to locate the receiver there.
Argo 23-yard line. Showing blitz. Glenn sidesteps, throws into the end zone once again. Incomplete into double coverage. Intended for Arsenault. And the Argos come up with a stop.
did send the safety, Jermaine Gabriel. And Glenn recognized that. He wanted to get Arsenault on that crossing route right where the safety had vacated, but the Argo secondary recovered, reacted. Dwight Anderson was underneath it, and it was well covered.
So the veteran Paul McCallum comes out to attempt a 30-yarder. Only 17 of 18 on the year. An impressive 94.4%. And he'll better that. And it's a 10-point BC lead here late in the opening quarter. Ray in the first half against Winnipeg had 2 incompletions. He's only 2 for 5, and I guess that was the concern coming in for the Lions, breaking in some young guys in the secondary against a veteran.
Well, good pass rush trumps the secondary, and that's what the Lions have had early in this game.
Play action fake, more heat, and a sidearm to avoid the sack, an incompletion, but heat on Ricky Ray here in this opening quarter.
Those are the ones that Ricky Ray's got to be careful with, because when he's tied up like that and trying to throw it away, falling down, that's how you can really hurt your shoulder, your throwing arm, because it's extended when you hit the ground and it pops out. So he's got 3 guys in his face and tries to throw it and then protect himself before he gets down there.
Bazzi, who has a sack, Westerman, the Brampton native, in the hit. 2nd and 10, Ray the throw, and he threads the needle to Darvin Adams, who drops the football, and Corey Williams comes up with it. So Adams the catch, but then gives it up, and it's all going BC's way in this first quarter.
Now, Darvin Adams not been used all that much the last couple of weeks. I'm not surprised that he's not comfortable with the football in his hands all of a sudden. Last week, just 1 catch against, or Tuesday even, 1 catch against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Previous week, just a couple of touches, so uncomfortable with it in his hands, and it comes out. See, Ryan Phillips gives him the first shot,
and TJ Lee with the strip. And Mike Benavides using this opportunity to get Travis Lulay in the game. Told us he would get some reps depending on the flow of the game. Lulay ready to go. And he'll get tested early as he gets hit taking off with it to the Argo 50-yard line. So he's right into the game now.
Yeah, gets right into it by taking off and running with the football in his first one. Here's the injury back September 15th, last year against the Montreal Alouettes.
Did play at the end of the year, but then shoulder surgery to repair damage, tighten things up, and I guess like some of the stadiums, a little later arriving for the season than was first anticipated. 2nd down, in some trouble here, and he'll get pulled down. Another sack for Tristan Opala-Ugo. And we hear Opa once again for the 6th time this year.
Opala-Ugo. Got to keep working on that name, and I apologize, Tristan, in advance for the times that I kick it around a little bit.
He's given us some practice.
But he has given us a lot of practice, and I'm not surprised again that Travis Lulay here is, he's looking down the field, hasn't played in live action for a long time, and it's just a matter of getting that speed of the game down again.
There's Brendan Smith on the return, and a decent effort up to the 19-yard line as he tries to help Snipe put a scare into the Rough Riders in Saskatchewan. So Ray back to work. A 19-yard completion to Darvin Adams ended up in a turnover. They go back to Adams, and he can't pull it in.
Tried to go right back to him. TJ Lee cut the legs out just as the ball was arriving and didn't allow Adams to come up with that catch. And it looks like the Toronto Argonauts are testing TJ Lee at that wide side corner. That's a few plays now we've called that Lee's been involved. Throw a little bit high from Ricky Ray, uncharacteristically off target a little bit.
2nd and 10. steps up, unloads underneath the Bradwell, and he gets cut down quickly. There's Ronnie Yell taking Dante Marsh's spot on the short side. Another 2 and out for the Argos.
Yeah, Ronnie Yell is a very similar player, I believe, to Dante Marsh. He's an aggressive corner, comes downhill, likes to hit. He leads the defense in forced fumbles for the BC Lions.
You're saying he's a pit bull?
He's a pit bull on that short side, so I know they're comfortable putting him over there while they wait for Dante Marsh to heal up.
Brown awaits, and he's been a handful for the Argos so far. It's this at the 43-yard line, and again, little crease, flag down at the end of the run, up near midfield. And Kevin Glenn back into the game.
Well, I talked to Travis Lulay before the kickoff, and I asked him, first of all, are you going to play? He said, yeah, I may get a couple series depending on how the game goes. That's going to be coach's field.
During the run back, illegal block in the back, BC number 48, 10-yard penalty. First down, BC.
And they wanted to sort of work him into the lineup slowly. I asked him, how is the shoulder? How are you coming back? He says, not absolutely perfect, but I feel like 100%. I said, well, that sounds like you just contradicted yourself. He said, well, I just don't know when I'm getting pulled down. Matt Dunnigan talked about it in the pregame show. I don't know when I'm getting pulled down and have to try to throw it away, if that's going to be a problem.
The penalty was against the Kwesi Antwi, and Dwight Anderson steps up for a quick stop on Stefan Logan, coming off an 8-tackle, 2-sack game against the Bombers on Tuesday. Anderson with one of his best career games in the CFL.
Yeah, did he ever? Did he ever? A couple quarterback sacks, as you mentioned, and that's a fun day for a defensive back. Don't get to chase the quarterback around too often. You have to go back and cover his receivers all the time. He sort of has the edge, and then you get a chance to go after him. You want to make the most of it.
Stop Logan in his tracks for no gain. 2nd and 10. Low snap. Scooped up by Glenn, who's in trouble, and he'll throw it away. Didn't get to the first down stick or grounding call with Shea Emery on the blitz.
Intentional grounding. BC number... Intentional grounding. BC number 2. Point of foul. 3rd down. 1 more play.
You heard Kevin dispute the call. He thought it did cross the line, which is the 38-yard line.
See Shea Emery down inside. He takes on Tim Brown, or excuse me, Stefan Logan.
At least 3 yards short of the line of scrimmage for Glenn, so the correct call made. Short kick by Ricky Schmidt, but he gets a nice roll. Brendan Smith picks it up. It'll be 5 yard, no yards, but forget that because the return is better, up to the 48. 34-yard punt. And the Argos with their best field position start, but they'll be down by 10 through 15 minutes of play.
Can't get the passing game going right now. Ricky Ray's having issues with defensive linemen in his face.
It's the end of the first quarter.
No yards. BC number 45. That was a 5-yard penalty that is declined. That's the end of the quarter.
Tim Brown with a big return. Stefan Logan with the touchdown, and all kinds of pressure on Ricky Ray. The story of the opening 15 minutes here. At least one more big play on special teams.
Yeah, Tuesday night, Ricky Ray threw for just shy of 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 10 different receivers. Tonight, in his last 7 throws, he's just completed 2 of them. Right now, the BC Lions are sending 4 or 5 defensively, and the Argos are having trouble handling that. They're not blitzing at Ray, so he's not looking for that one hot route, so he has to handle that pressure, and he's not doing it very well right now.
And the Argos have liked their offensive line in the last couple of weeks, but that tells you a lot about this young defensive end, Alex Bazzi, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That entire front 4, Mark Washington's got him coached up and ready to make it a little more difficult for Ricky Ray.
Enjoyed that featured pregame show of all the recent former players that are getting involved on the sidelines. Hours are different. They found that out, didn't they?
Long long days when you're a coach.
A lot of bets on that offensive line. Jeff Keeping, Wayne Smith, Chris Van Zyl. See if they can buy some time. They'll try and help out with the run game. And Curtis Steele not to be denied. Great run down to the Lion 46-yard line.
That's a quarterback in Scott Milenovich. Another former player and coach that is now coach that understands to help his offensive line in pass protection, go to a little bit of a run game and let them become the aggressor. And that'll give them more confidence. They'll start to move the chains along the ground, and then when it comes to pass protect, they're better suited to take that rush on.
Steele's rushing average almost 7 yards a carry this year. Got 16 there. First down, a pump from Ray, and now in trouble. He'll take off and then throw for Sinfield, incomplete. Ricky Ray electing not to run with the football. Scott Milenovich talked about this yesterday. Really doesn't want to see him run out of the pocket and take off. And you can see a little hesitation there from the quarterback in doing so.
Well, he was first of all hesitant to throw it because the coverage was great behind in the secondary for the BC Lions. Let's take a look. There's 3 receivers into the boundary, 2 to the wide side of the field, and you see them all pretty well covered downfield. So Ray has to try and make something happen, try and buy some time.
2nd and 10. Again, the pocket collapsing. The pass is caught. Darvin Adams went up for it. Got a flag deep in the Lions secondary.
Jason Barnes indicating that he may have been held on the backside of the play. That would be illegal contact. He wasn't the intended target. That was Adams.
Receiver, BC number 13, 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Torrey Williams.
There's Jason Barnes going one-on-one on Torrey Williams. Let's give him a double move, and Williams just pulls him down from the shoulder pad.
Fresh set of downs for the Argonauts. At the BC 36. Hand off again inside. Steele. Good contact there.
That's 2 players going at it. That's Curtis Steele. Nice low center of gravity. Got his pad level down, going one-on-one with Solomon Elamimian. Stepped into that hole. He's on pace for 139 tackles, Solomon Elamimian, and that would be a CFL record. Passing J.C. Sherrick, and that's some contact in the hole.
Steele did fall forward, but that is another tackle for Elamimian. And his string of 10-plus tackle games snapped at 2 last week. There's a completion to Jeremiah Johnson. Check that Sinfield taken down, and Argos have another first down. Ricky Ray talked about starting to trust these young guys, and it was evident the other night the way he used so many different weapons. Been a little harder to come by tonight, but there's Sinfield with a catch, and they are starting to move the football.
And he hasn't worked the ball to Jason Barnes just yet, who is a veteran receiver back in the lineup.
18 different receivers have caught Ricky Ray passes so far this year. 1st and 10. Back on the ground. Look out. Big contact there, and once again it's Bazzi. Jeremiah Johnson dusted right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he's going in that 2-point stance, and this guy is turning into rookie that you should be keeping your eyes on, because that's yet another big play in the backfield. Tackle for loss for Bazzi. Steps up. As good as a sack, really. Doesn't have the quarterback, but it's a tackle for a loss.
So 2nd and 11. Ricky Ray, that corner route, looking for Spencer Watt. And tight coverage all the way, and T.J. Lee got the job done defensively.
They are going after T.J. Lee, and he just keeps stepping up. I asked Ryan Phillips what to expect from Lee in this game. He said, you know what, you never know until the lights go on and you see if a guy can play, but they are pretty excited about the fact that in the preseason He had a tough game in preseason game 1, got beat deep on a play, and then came back with a couple of interceptions, 3 as a matter of fact, and dropped a 4th in the next game. That's how he made the team, and so far he's answered the call.
So Swayze Waters to attempt a 32-yarder. He gets the Argos on the board. They're within 7. Let's take a look at how close they might have come to scoring a major. And Spencer Watt in a battle couldn't bring it in. But 7-point game. Lions take over on 35, and they're waiting for Logan. Had some early success with the Argos starting to close the door. Shane Horton with a quick stop of Logan that time.
I'm a little surprised that the numbers are down for Shane Horton. I mean, he's such an athletic linebacker guy, just absolutely loves the gym, is in there before everybody leaves, once everybody's gone. I mean, first on the practice field, last to leave it, and yet the numbers aren't there. I mean, he doesn't have a quarterback sack yet, doesn't have an interception, tackles aren't off the charts. That was a big play.
2nd and 9, pass is almost picked off. In and out of the hands of Brandon Underwood. Has 1 on the season, lamenting a miss of his 2nd.
I wondered if that was tipped at the line of scrimmage or batted. It was batted.
It was. Horton.
There's a knockdown, that'll go down as in the books as a knockdown now that it wasn't caught by Underwood. So there's a stat for Shane Horton.
And a good series. 2 and out. Schmidt's kick. Brendan Smith with the return. And he'll get angled out shy of the 29-yard line. A 51-yard boot. 6 on the return. We're on Alex Bazzi. Let's check in with Matthew Shinetti.
Chris, Glenn and I were actually talking to Bazzi before the game to ask him what the secret to his success is, and he said it's simple. It's the atmosphere around the line, watching Eric Taylor come in earlier, Kareem Smith, where he's sitting inside the meeting room, when I should be there, what I should be looking at, because the veterans told Bazzi at the start of this season, you're expendable, so it's all about the work you put in. And when I asked Mike Benavides what he liked so much about Bazzi, he doing what he has to do. Just, I have to tell him one thing once, and it's all good. And Glenn, as he was telling you, really it all comes back to his experience at Marshall that set him up for the way he approaches the game.
Yes, it did. The Thundering Herd. And, of course, football fans may remember the 1970 plane crash. 37 players lost in that crash, 5 coaches. Marshall University. And I asked Bazzi, he said that's the memorial fountain, the student center fountain. And every year they have a ceremony around the fountain. And I asked Bazzi if he knew the story before he signed up with Marshall. Said he didn't, but he said goodbye to his parents right in front of that fountain.
First down and another catch for Mike Bradwell, who has his 100th career grab tonight.
And that got me thinking. That got me thinking. Now, we were at our lunch meeting, and I'd like to get your call on it. We had a very scientific way. You know the movie We Are Marshall. It's based on that 1970 crash and the rebuilding of the football program there. And we thought we'd rank the all-time top 10 football movies. Now, if you don't like this, folks, just tweet CC and Chris Cuthbert here and tell them your opinion.
I didn't get a vote there.
Well, you weren't in the meeting, but we had a very scientific approach to it where everyone got a vote in the crew. And we picked the top 10 football movies, and Longest Yard went out. In fact, we actually surveyed some of the restaurant we were at the meeting at, thinking on the We Are Marshall.
I'm an old-timer. Brian's song got me.
Yeah, well, it was 1 or 2 between Longest Yard and Brian's song.
And I'm going to remember the Titans guy, too, but everybody has a different favorite. A lot of good ones. Friday Night Lights.
Bazzi said that they gave when they were freshmen. He's in on that one too, trying to force the quick throw.
Oh, there's a late penalty. Torrey Williams taking down Robert Gill. Flags fly, and the Argos got something going here on this drive, and Torrey Williams has just extended it.
Just to wrap up that thought, they gave Bazzi and all the freshmen
Major
a copy
foul.
of that movie.
Unnecessary roughness. BC number 13. 15-yard penalty enforced from the end of the play. First down.
Bazzi forces the quick throw by Ray, but they've got him outflanked right now. And then well out of bounds.
Yep. 10th UR call against the Lions this season. And the Argos in business, trailing by 7, but a first down at the BC 26. Xander Robinson stays in the block, and Ray hit as he tried to dump it off. It looked like Robinson might have been the intended target.
I thought it might have been Kareem Smith opposite Alex Bazzi on the push there that drove his man right into the face of Ricky Ray, and he just couldn't throw it over his offensive lineman. Take a look here. It looked like it came from Ray's left. Good push up the middle. Was it Khalif Mitchell?
I'm trying to figure out how the Lions are ranked 8th in sacks. Been good up front tonight. Here they come again. Ray ducked under. Crosser is behind. Gill incomplete. And the field goal unit will have to come on.
Well, that's right. I mean, the Lions and their pressure has really been the difference so far in this first half. They're sending the 4 defensive linemen, not having to blitz from the secondary, not having to send Elamimian or Big Hill. So Ray's dealing with those defensive linemen in the backfield, and that's on the O-line. Not blitz pickup, just got to beat your man.
So Swayze Waters, who had the shoes that already matched the new uniforms, the blue Swayze shoes, attempting from 34 yards out.
It's a kicker thing.
And he's got it. On a night they'll honor the retirement of another Argo kicker, Noel Prefontaine. Waters puts it through from 34 yards out. So a 4-point game now. Midway through this second quarter. Argos have righted the ship after a quick Lions start. Here's Tim Brown. And he'll get stacked up just before he reaches the 30-yard line.
Last week, Kevin Glenn had 2 targets in Manny Arsenault and Sean Gore. Gore had his best game of the season. 117 yards on 5 catches. Still looking for his first touchdown receiving of the 2014 season, but game before that did not have a catch and then exploded last week. Haven't found him tonight.
Kevin Glenn just 2 for 6 on the evening for 19 yards. They started trying to establish a ground game. Now the hitch, and that is stopped by Jalil Carter. The catch by Ernest Jackson, who had that game-winning touchdown late against the Stampeders at McMahon.
Yeah, I would say the defenses are winning. I mean, right now you get the good push up front defensively from both these teams. You mentioned the Argos playing better defensively over the last few weeks. They're moving up the rankings in the Canadian Football League defensively, certainly as they learn this defense.
Yeah, the stats under Tim Burke the last 4 games pretty remarkable. Looking for a stop here on 2nd and 7. That pass complete. It'll be close to a first down. Dwight Anderson eyeing the stick as he brought down Manny Arsenault. Had to get to the 40-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it short.
It'll be a little bit short. The Argos are doing it a little differently than the Lions. You're going to see pressure from the Argos in the linebacking core and the safety. Again, Jermaine Gabriel coming up in pressure. So it's blitz that's creating pressure on Kevin Glenn, whereas for the BC Lions defensively, they're sending 4 or maybe 5. They're not blitzing on Ricky Ray.
So inches short of first down. And on the movie theme,
yeah,
the inches
you need are everywhere around you. Every step of the game, every minute, every second.
Put that on the tee for you, didn't I?
Look at the guy next to you. I think you'll see a guy who will go that inch. You want to do the whole one or just
we better get to the third down gamble here. Get you going on movies, we're all in trouble. John Peck in on the third down sneak. And a push ahead. Got it here. Behind that young line of Norman, Fabian, and Valley, Hunter Stewart, and Olafioye. And mentioned Tim Burke. We should check the numbers for the Argos. They got off to a shaky start defensively first 3 games, but the last month you could make a case, and we will, that they have turned in the best defensive stats in the league. The last 4 games, those numbers all would lead the league.
No, absolutely. I mean, not giving up a 200-yard passing game in the last 3 straight and forcing 31 2-and-outs.
Missed by Logan. And then Shea Emery puts a stop to that with an official at the bottom of the pile. That's the umpire, Adam Paradowski. And boy, the umpires have been beaten up in the first 8 weeks, haven't they?
Oh boy, yeah. You have to have your head on a swivel. You're right in harm's way. The players are just reacting to the football, and
Emery and Courtney Taylor going at it now. Like Taylor took a little swipe at the Argo middle linebacker. There is a flag down, and I think it was out prior to that.
Just stepped right in front of Emery as he was breaking to the football there.
He was in the line of fire. The game a couple of years ago.
After the play was over, major foul, unnecessary roughness, BC number 86. Penalties applied at the end of the play. It will be second down.
So it was the contact by Taylor on Emery well after the play was over. And Emery gets over there into his ear after the call is made.
I think a couple of BC Lion receivers got into Courtney Taylor's ear a little bit there too. And
you know, the native of Richmond, BC's fired up.
Yeah, he's getting them going. That top-ranked defense in the last 3 weeks.
So it'll be down an official. Not sure that's the quiet room, but Paradowski taking a brief breather. 2nd and 20. 4-man rush. Underneath it goes. And Logan contained by Sheen Horton. It'll be 3rd down. Up at the 43-yard line. They get 12 back, but a punting situation.
And that tells you how important those penalties can be and how they can hurt you, because a penalty that's controllable for Courtney Taylor well after the whistle, that same play executed without the penalty is a 1st down, and the Lions offense stays on the field. I think Mike Benavides is going to go talk to his receiver.
May go to collect $75, which is the fine on the Lions for dead ball fouls. Be a couple donations in this first half. Smith with the return up to the 28-yard line. So the Lions struck first, built a 10-0 first quarter lead. Ricky Ray's cut into it with a couple of field goals and goes back to work with just over 4.5 minutes to go in this opening half. His lowest percentage as a quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, which I believe is 32 games, 31 or 32 games, was against BC. One game, he was 50%. And right now in that vicinity so far in this opening half, swinging out to Barnes, his first catch, and he gets cut down quickly. And TJ Lee's had a good first half, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has. He's ready to play, and he's ready to take on all challenges, because clearly the scouting report was a new corner on the wide side, and Scott Milanovic was going to go and try and test him, whether it be with a deep ball. We've seen Spencer Watt try and run that deep ball on him and knock that down. He's cutting down Jason Barnes here on that hitch screen.
Loss of 3. Just the third time in 6 years the Lions have been playing without their short side corner, Dante Marsh. Ray, a sidearm throw incomplete as he got hit again. This time Adam Bighill on the blitz got to the quarterback.
Part of my conversation with Ryan Phillips before the game was when about TJ Lee, and when we talked to him, I said, does Lee know about the legend, Ryan Phillips, at Eastern Washington? And he burst out laughing. Of course, Ryan Phillips playing in his 169th consecutive football game. And I said, does he know about the legend? He said, I never really brought that up, but he's a good football player.
Ryan Phillips with 39 career interceptions, looking for a milestone pick tonight. Tim Brown ran into some heavy traffic, including his own man, and James Juracek, one of the tacklers downfield, along with Vince Agnew after a 52-yard punt.
It's interesting. We saw Travis Lulay go in for one series, come back out. It's been all Kevin Glenn since then. I'm sure if Mike Benavides wanted to just see if Lulay could take a couple of snaps in live action, get back into that field a little bit, and we haven't seen him since. And both of the plays he ran, he actually took off and ran with the football. Took 2 hits.
But a good week for the defense all around, and that's been the case here tonight. Logan punished up the middle again. Jermaine Gabriel stepped up. Logan Harrell from defensive tackle in on the stop. As Logan shakes off that contact, we've hit the 3-minute warning here. First half in Toronto. Lions with a 4-point lead.
Schultz, it looked like that cold water was affected Milt more than any of them.
But some good challenges there as well.
But remember, the donation has to go to ALS.
Kevin Glenn looking downfield. Great catch. Where was it? Garcino doesn't survive contact. And a little slow to get up. Or does he? They are ruling a catch at the Argo 52.
It looked like he survived contact with the ground, but then it was pulled out after that by Jaleel Carter.
Argo's looking to the sidelines, maybe to a challenge. They'll have another look.
What a great catch.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. Lions do get over the football in a hurry and hand it off to Logan. Counter, and he finds a crease. Daylight Stephen Logan inside the 25-yard line.
Well, the backside for the offensive line for the BC Lions did a nice job of opening up this hole. Hunter Stewart here at left tackle getting to play in the start in this game. It's the backside, the cutback lane for Stephon Logan. Gets one-on-one with the safety, Jermaine Gabriel, wins that battle.
Antoine Moulton the tackle, but it's a 31-yard run for Logan, now up to 66 yards in this first half. Play action fake, Kevin Glenn into the corner. Is it a touchdown? No, incomplete. Looking for Courtney Taylor. And it looked like he had a step.
Stephon Logan bringing the secondary and linebacking core with his running ability closer to the line of scrimmage. So a little play action here for Kevin Glenn. Tries to go up over the top. A nice throw to Taylor. He had it, but that left foot on the white stripe out of bounds.
Dwight Anderson in coverage. Left foot down and out first. So 2nd and 10 from the 21. Lions empty the backfield. 3 receivers either side. And Kevin Glenn looked to pull it down. Now throws and the ball batted down.
Emery. Boy, he was running. He was traffic cop on this play defensively. Shea Emery, before the snap, is getting everyone lined up. That middle linebacker has to do that. So it's the responsibility of the middle linebacker and the safety. Now, Emery's just going to start getting everybody lined up. Excuse me, there he is. And he's starting to get that empty set. And then he flows to the football. Glenn comes out and he gets the knockdown as well.
No accident. The Argos defense has improved with the improved play of their middle linebacker, Shea Emery, who's been terrific in the last few weeks. So McCallum from 29. And he puts it through. And the lead is back to 7 for Mike Benavides and the Lions.
Exactly where Mike Benavides wants to be, on the road. Gets the team on the short week. Get up on them early. because as the game goes on, their energy level will drop. No way around it in the short week, and it's a real short one for the Argos.
Spent a lot of time in the first quarter trying to establish the run. Do you think that was with the 4-day break for the Argos in mind as well?
Yeah, just keep pounding them. His offensive lineman pounding the D-line, and should pay off later in the game.
4 receivers wide side, draw play, steal. And up to the 40 has 5. This is not new for the Argos, who often have a challenging schedule because of availability dates here at Rogers Center. Last year, they didn't do badly.
Well, I think on a 4-day work week, there's a reason why you can only play football once a week. So when you have to do it on those short weeks, and every team will do it this year, but when the Argos and teams have to do it, if you can get to 500, you have to do it more than once. That's success.
2nd and 5. Short drop, pocket collapsing, and Ray in trouble again. This Lions front 4 has got the job done. Just the 2nd sack, but a lot of pressures and hurries on Ricky Ray in this opening half.
Well, he is Marshall. And he's coming off the ball again in a hurry. Nice little inside cut, causes the first problems. I think flushes Ricky Ray into the hands of Kareem Smith.
So Smith gets the sack, his 3rd of the year.
Alex Bazzi gets the helper.
And Waters will punt it away. So the Lions with some time here to enhance their lead in the late stages of the first half. Round drop just beyond the 40.
Been fun watching Alex Bazzi tonight. Thundering herd. He has been in the backfield a ton. Got that early sack on Ricky Ray. Stopped for a loss. Jeremiah Johnson early on. Got the assist on the last sack. There's a sack for Bazzi.
In training camp, Mike Benavides said he has camp win qualities, and you went, wait a minute, that good? But he's starting to show it. 7 sacks on the year.
Talking about it too. So you didn't like the choice. Brian's song #1.
You didn't like?
You like Brian's song as #1 on the movie list. I wonder what the panel thinks too.
Pressure this time on Travis Lulay back into the game, getting a late possession, and there's Nick Rosamunda, newcomer to the Argos lineup, playing in just his 2nd game. Was with the Ticats last year.
You like that one? Our producer liked Rudy, Chris Edwards. Rudy was his favorite.
I'm big on number 4 and 5, but I like them all.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised that We Are Marshall was bumped down to number 10, but that will dominate Twitter tonight. You know that.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of people disagree with the crew's rankings.
2nd down, Lulay in trouble, and Opa Rafujo.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Got another bright star at defensive end dominating tonight for the Argos, number 91.
You know, Travis Lulay has taken, I think, 4 snaps now and been tackled on all 4. First 2 he took off and ran with the football, was tackled there. This 2 he tried to pass it and got caught in the backfield both times. So he at least is breaking in the shoulder when it comes to contact. It's just interesting how they're using him here.
Yeah. Well, the shoulder's passing the test, it would appear. I don't think they want to get it tested that much.
Well, I'm just wondering, I think BC fans are probably...
Whoa. Agnew almost got the block. Ball bouncing around and went off on Argo's foot. No yards call, 45-yard line, 7 seconds left.
The BC fans, don't you think they're wondering right now if Travis Lulay is good enough to play, then should he be playing? Now keep in mind, Kevin Glenn's coming off a 407-yard passing game, not playing badly in this one. Both teams defensively playing well in the first half. That's the 2nd series in this first half for Lulay, and I think Lions fans probably going to, can he play or not?
BC, 5-yard penalty. First down.
I think they're saying Kevin Glenn is in midseason form. He has to catch up to the rest of the league, so maybe you give him in certain situations. Glenn's not lighting it up either. No. But at the same time,
couple series here and there just to feel those hits, but
a little spotty right now, and be interesting to see if he's deployed in the second half. Ricky Ray going to take one shot, try to get him in field goal range, and there's time on the clock. Big play for the Argos, a catch for Jason Barnes, and that'll get Swayze Waters onto the field. 20-yard pickup, and just like that, the Argos have a chance to get a little closer.
Yeah, big play in a couple of ways. One is they get a chance for a field goal here just before the half. The other is get the football to Jason Barnes and get that chemistry back between Ricky Ray and Barnes.
Waters 7 for 8 outside the 40. That's the most successful field goals from beyond 40 this year. This will be a test from 47. He's hit from 51.
With those shoes, how can you miss with those shoes? I wonder if Noel Prefontaine would ever wear the powder blue.
See, Bree didn't think he was a kicker.
No, absolutely not. They'll honor him at halftime. See if Swayze Waters can make this one.
And Waters, plenty of distance, and he puts it through. So a late burst from the Argos to get 3 more and make it 13-9 at the half. Defensive battle might come down to one of these kickers tonight. Let's go to the panel at halftime.
All right, Chris, an interesting half to say the least. The way it ended, too, with the Argos getting just a quick 3 on the board to make it a 13-9 game. Welcome inside the studio, Rod Smith, along with Milt Stiegel, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz. And our final thoughts before we set you to this game was how would the Lions handle their quarterback situation, given the inevitability of Travis Lulay getting back into the game. But the way they did it, Milt, after a 10-0 lead, and then they just put him in for a series, what do you think of how they handled that?
I don't understand it. First of all, I didn't think he would play in this game. And then secondly, I didn't think he would play when your offense has some rhythm going. And the second time they put him in, their offense has some rhythm going. Like every time they want to put him in is after their offense scores. And I don't understand that. You know, Kevin Glenn, that offense is doing well. Logan is running the ball well. They're dinking and dunking. And then you want to put Lulay in. I don't understand it. So it'll be interesting the way they're going to use him in the second half, if they're going to use him at all.
I'm kind of doing that too, Milt. Scratch my head a little bit. You know, it's like you were right. How they're phasing him in is slowly. I thought it would be very succinct, very clear, and moving forward with Travis as their guy. When they did, they're working him in. I think it's really messing up Kevin Glenn's rhythm. But when we saw Travis Lulay go out there, he hasn't thrown a pass yet. He hasn't seen the field. The game is flying way too fast for him right now, and I credit the Toronto defense for getting all over him. Just really testing the shoulder here. Look at that. That's 300 pounds landing right on his right shoulder. All the weight right there by Lang, and he just buries him too. And then when Lulay gets up from this, I'm going to pose this question. Is this a smile or is this a wince? Schultz thought it was a smile. I think it's a wince. I think he's toughing it out right there going, that didn't feel good. And then the next play, nothing there, pulls it down, and there's Okabalago doing his thing. He's going to have nightmares about this guy. I actually think that it's been they're just throwing noodles at the refrigerator seeing if it sticks, right? I don't think that this football team knows what to do with Travis right now. Phasing him in right now, I think is okay. But, geez, I look at this, Rod, and I'm thinking, this is messing up Kevin Glenn's rhythm big time.
Yes. I'll throw in a new word. I'll create it. Smints. So part smiles, part wins. There you go. I think he's happy to be back, but he is taking hits. Hey, how about the BC Lions defense, Schultz? I mean, the last drive notwithstanding when they just got that quick 3 on the board to get to 9 points. Done a good job on Ricky Ray and company.
Number 1 secondary in the CFL, and evident today are the BC Lions. Ray has only thrown for 104 yards, and you see the secondary play in 2 phases. First 4 or 5 times I've seen Ricky Ray hold on to the football, look left, look right, nobody's around, end up either dumping the ball off on a short check down route, incomplete. The receivers are not getting open. Where's Andre Dury? Where's Chad Owens? This is the game. And how about this one? TJ Lee. That's a great job when he had to make a one-on-one play in the end zone. Wonderful, wonderful job. Stephon Logan, great contribution. Good first half by BC Lions.
Good statement, especially given all the talk we've had about Ray and the way he performed against Winnipeg by that Lions D.
They're stepping up to the challenge defensively, all up in his face. Tough to throw off your heels.
Absolutely. Well, these are Two teams looking for their third straight win, the Lions as well. And BC looking good so far in the first half on the road, and they have dominated the Argos for the last 10 years. And they've got the 13-9 lead. The coach, Paul Lapalisse, is there. We're going to hear from him in a moment. Center, and let's bring in the coach, Paul Lapalisse, and the GMC coach's playbook. We talked a lot about this Tuesday night as well, Paul, about teams coming off a 5-day break, only a short week. Winnipeg had it, and now the Argos are dealing with that in this second game in 5 days against BC.
Yeah, you know, that was something I was really looking at to start this game, because you would think it's the end of the game where the players have a hard time. To me, it's the start of the game, because the players for the Argos are still sore. They don't play as fast as the team that had all the time off, and that's what I was concerned going into that first quarter, what was going to happen. And especially the special teams. You watch it early in the game, big special teams return by the BC Lions. Why? Because defensive players make up a lot of special teams, so they're playing 2/3 of the game, right? They're playing special teams and they're playing defense, so that led to a big play that got them down for their first touchdown. So I was worried as this game started out, are the Argos playing too slow and the BC Lions playing too fast at the beginning of the game. And then in the second quarter, the Argos woke up defensively. They've done a very nice job of getting to the quarterbacks, and they've also, you know, they've done enough offensively to keep this game close. You know, they like touchdowns, but they're moving the ball enough to get field goals, and I think they would be happy to be sitting where they're sitting. Whether they have it in the fourth quarter, that's a different story. We'll see. Very quickly, your reaction to the way the Lions are handling their quarterback situation, giving Travis Lulay some spot duty. Yeah, you know, I talked to Mike Benavides before the game. They wanted to get him some rhythm just so he can start playing at game speed again. You know, he's certainly not going to be ready. You know, when he goes in practice, that's not game speed, so they needed to give him some opportunities to play at full speed. And you know, sooner or later, he's got to step back into that role, so they want to gradually bring him in. The coach, Paul Lapalisse, said, by the way, wearing that powder blue down at the BC Lions bench. Tony's trying to kill me. I'm on the BC Lions sideline. They're all over me. Stay safe, coach. Absolutely. Well, yeah, a good start by the Lions, building up a 13-9 lead. Brian Mudryk by with the Sports Center update coming up.
Logan is having a pretty good half with 71 yards rushing, but I think the talk of this half has to be the pressure that's being put on by both teams. Whichever one of these teams can shore up their offensive line, I think has a pretty good chance of winning.
And here's Stefan Logan now speaking with Matthew Shinetti.
Stefan, early touchdown, but what do you and your teammates have to do to adjust to this defense in the second half?
Well, you got to stand our ground in there, you know, me included. I got to hold up on the protections. They're bringing some blitzes and stuff like that, but we know what they're doing. We just got to hold our ground and give Lulay and KG some protection back there.
Your teammates are talking about an adjusted travel schedule coming out east. Are you feeling any positives from that?
Well, I wasn't here last year to know like what happened, but you know, us coming in the day before, we got a chance to get a little rest, and we ready to go. As you can see, we playing great football. We just got certain parts of the game we just got to do a little bit better, but we're doing all right. We're doing fine. We go back in the halftime, regroup, we're fine.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you.
The women's team, Rugby World Cup. BC Lions, quick start at 10-0, hanging on to a 13-9 lead over the powder blue Toronto Argonauts. We'll be back.
In Toronto, with the Lions up by 4, let's head to the sidelines. Matthew Shinetti's with Ricky Ray.
Ricky, what kind of adjustments were discussed in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to keep plugging away. Our defense is playing really well. Offensively, we need to put some more drives together. You know, we got to control the line of scrimmage a little bit better, and I got to make some better throws.
Yeah, my other question is, how much will that guy play for the BC Lions? Travis Lulay getting worked into the lineup here. 2 series in the first half. I think the shoulder is okay. He took 4 hits on 4 plays. But Ricky Ray mentioned it. Milt Stegall mentioned it at halftime. It's the team that controls the line of scrimmage in the second half will come out on top.
Been a theme this weekend. It's been a theme in the first 8 weeks of the year. Defense getting the better of offense for the most part. See how the second half unfolds. Sinkfield on the return for the Argos, and the speedster all the way out near midfield. So that will shorten the field for Ricky Ray as we check the Argo offensive leaders in the first half.
Well, Ricky Ray completing over 70% of his passes on Tuesday. That percentage has dropped drastically because of that front four for the BC Lions. Curtis Steele, 6 touches, 46 yards rushing. Mike Bradwell, leading receiver, 3 catches in the first half.
Argos 23 pass plays, 7 run plays in the first half. They start with a run and look out. Big hit on Curtis Steele. This guy's getting a lot of airtime tonight, isn't he?
He is.
Alex Bazzi.
Alex Bazzi. Meet Curtis Steele. He said whenever you walk around the Marshall University, all you have to say is, "We are." And everybody around you yell, "Marshall." It happens to this day.
2nd and 12. They'll screen it. Here's Steele. And brought down immediately. There's Elimimian. And there's a flag on the field right at the 55.
That may be against Toronto and declined. I saw Terrell Sinkfield put his hands in the air as if he was caught with a holding.
Be interesting to track Elimimian on pace with Sherritt for the tackle record. As
Toronto number 67. The penalties decline. 3rd down.
That's the center, Jeff Keeping. So it's a 2-and-out to start the second half for the Argos. Their 5th 2-and-out of the night. Waters boot. Bouncing down inside the 20. And Tim Brown surrounded. Taken down quickly. And Vince Agnew's had a couple special team tackles. It will be Kevin Glenn to lead the Lions offense out to start the second half.
Made a couple of plays late in that first half. 67 yards passing, 7 of 13. Stephon Logan, the feature back. Andrew Harris, if you're just joining us, not in the lineup tonight due to an ankle injury. And Manny Arsenault was their leading receiver. One of the top receivers last week as well. But both passing games struggling with the front four and the pressure provided by both these defenses.
Deepest start of the game for the Lions at their 16. It's Logan with a cutback. And Dwight Anderson will bring him down at the 21, a gain of 5.
Had a nice first half. Stephon Logan had that early touchdown that was right down to the goal line. Looked like he got caught in the backfield, but made a couple guys miss.
Four times 100 yards in his career, and his best was a game against the Argos back in 2008 when he ran for 144. 5 yards there for Logan. 70 on the season, and more here for Stephon Logan as he'll step over the first down. 14 on that year's latest run.
Here's a small adjustment from the BC Lions offensively. They know they're getting a lot of this safety blitz coming down here, so what they want to do is pop Logan out and around. All they need to get is one seal block off the edge, and they can do that because they got all the defenders for the Argos in one area. Now they just got to get the corner. Logan gets it and picks up nice yards. There's a little adjustment on how to beat the safety, get him outside and around it.
Flags fly. Some early movement on the line.
Boy, every week different though, isn't it? 407 yards passing for Kevin Glenn.
Procedure, BC number 67, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's the rookie left tackle who's been grading out well, Hunter Stewart. Who the Lions have huge hopes for to be a mainstay on that offensive line for a long time.
Starts to shape up with Kirby Fabian healthy and back and available.
First and 15. The pass over the middle. A dart ball came loose. Picked off by Dwight Anderson. And here's Anderson with the fumble recovery return. And he weaves his way down inside the 20-yard line. First takeaway of the night for that Argo defense. Lions.
That wasn't on Kevin Glenn. The ball was thrown on the money, but stripped. Worst case scenario for the Lions, because this was a play was just sort of get a few positive yards and then punt the football because of the penalty that put him in 2nd and long. But that tackle popped it out of there, and Dwight Anderson has given Ricky Ray red zone type field position.
So Sean Gore, was he down, and does he lose it on
Previous
contact?
play is under review by the command center.
It's an automatic review on a
Turnover.
Hit by Underwood, and when is the ball loose? It looks like it comes loose after contact. I think the Lions offense is going to go back onto the field.
Or the punt team. Now, he was short of the first down on 2nd down there, so if he is ruled down by contact, it should be 3rd down BC, but lots of field position. That is at stake here. Take a look again. Nice hit by Underwood. He continues to drive through the football. First contact is there.
The ball is starting to come out, and that's probably why this is taking a little longer than you might anticipate.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The knee touches right now, and that ball is sort of floating on top of his arm.
Is that deemed control or not? Then going to get a verdict here. Is it 2nd down BC or 1st down Toronto?
After review, the ball carrier was down by contact at the 38.5-yard line. It will be 2nd down BC. 2nd down.
So the Lions.
I think it was 2nd down.
So the Lions get the ball back, and it will be 2nd down and 8 at the 38.
Oh, excuse me, that's right. The penalty was on 1st down to put him back. 1st and long. So another chance to keep the offense on the field.
So the reaction of the Argo bench, they disagree with the verdict. Not a close, but an incorrect call. Here comes Argo Heat. Glenn Crosser has a completion, and Logan once again dashing for a 1st down. 18 more for Stefan Logan. So up at the 55, a 1st down. Logan's been busy. 13 touches in the game, 85 yards rushing, 34 receiving. And Tim Brown ahead, giving Logan a breather. And 3 for Tim Brown. And Logan checks right back in.
Boy, tough to get the time to throw the ball deep here tonight. Both teams trying to work that running game to try and open things up through play action.
Logan Harrell out. Rosamonda comes in as an extra linebacker. Argos go to 3-4 defense on 2nd and 7. Send 5, quick hitter, complete. And Logan's going to be stopped short.
Good tackle in the open field there. Bring down Logan.
Antoine Molden?
Yeah, Antoine Molden in the game for Jamie Robinson, and this is a tough tackle to make. I mean, this is a very elusive running back. Quick feet in the open field, room on either side. Molden got him down.
3rd and a yard, maybe a yard and a half, and looked like the Lions considered going for it. Now the punt team comes on. That might have been in a gambling mood. Full yard.
Full yard.
But on the Argos side of center, they get a short kick. And this one's going to bounce out around the 15-yard line. So it remains a 4-point line lead here, third quarter. Well, he was a mainstay with the Toronto Argonauts, 14 years with the Argos, another couple with the Edmonton Eskimos, 6 times All-CFL, 11 times an Eastern All-Star, punted for over 80,000 yards, 12th of the all-time points list in the CFL. Noel Prefontaine retiring as an Argo, standing by with Matthew Shinetti.
And let me add some more numbers to that, Chris. Over 91 special teams tackles, over 45 yards per punt, over 200 passing yards, over 100 rushing yards pre. What do you want to be defined as?
I think when I set out and I came to the league in '98, I wanted to be defined as the guy that was going to get his nose dirty and make tackles. So if anything makes me the most proudest, I think, is the 91 tackles that I had.
What was the most gratifying moment? You had so many great ones. Thinking now, what was the best one?
Probably the most gratifying. I mean, obviously winning 2 Grey Cups was fantastic, but the most gratifying was one that was in the highlight clip that I have at the field goal I kicked for us to go into the postseason. Obviously, you make a little extra money going into the postseason, and I think the guys that game were pretty happy that I made that kick.
Now, speaking of your relationship with your teammates, I've seen you in the last couple of years really coach up a lot of your teammates. Coaching in your future at all?
Possibly, down the road when the situation is right for me and my family. But I love the game. I don't think there's anything else that I could do in my life where I'm going to be more passionate than how I am when I'm on the football field. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to get back into the game in some capacity at some point and then continue on from there.
Appreciate this, Bree. Congratulations on a great career.
Thank you so much.
I thought he was going to say his completions would be his most memorable because he could throw the football too, and at times he was the third string quarterback.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but no way. He loved the contact. Free safety in college.
Ricky Ray swings it out, and Sinkfield almost got loose.
Prefontaine was...
Check that, Jason Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes. Prefontaine, Chris, was just... He was a football player. And he made his mark on this league. And I think in the game, I mean, there was the before Prefontaine perception of kickers and then the perception of them after. And he changed it. He proved that kickers aren't the flaky guys that people talked about back in the day. That kickers can be athletes and great athletes. And that's what Noel Prefontaine was, a great athlete who happened to kick.
9-yard pickup for Barnes. And a timeout being called.
Timeout, Toronto.
Scott Milanovich didn't like what he saw. Man, somebody, I think you could read his lips. I think Terrell Sinkfield is in the doghouse as he's called to the sidelines.
Did I see 3 go off and 2 come on in the substitutions?
So they'll reboot, but they've had to use the timeout, and that's a stop. Close to the first down, and it's Bazzi again shutting the door. And that's going to force the punt team on.
Well, there's a candidate for Defensive Player of the Week so far.
Boy, he's putting on a show, isn't he?
He really is. I mean, he's been all over the field. That's a big one. I mean, this is second and advantage offense because it's second and so short, and he just stopped still in his tracks in the backfield again.
There's going to be some John Chick supporters that are going to get...
Yeah, I said in the running. I don't need my Twitter.
But he's in the conversation. Wow. Alex Bazzi putting on a defensive show in a defensive battle.
Has his 6th sack of the season. Alex Bazzi, who we just finished talking about, has his 7th tonight for the BC Lions.
And Nick Rosamunda, newcomer to the Argos, has been credited with the pair. And the Argos in that race. No scoring so far, third quarter midway through, and Stefan Logan's got the ball again. He's been busy tonight. I keep thinking Andrew Harris is watching this game thinking, wow, is the other guy ever getting a lot of work?
Yeah, a lot of touches, isn't he? But, you know, the passing game and the pressure and the protection issues that both these quarterbacks are having, I'm not surprised that they are going to the run game a little bit more. And when you can get 7 on first down, you stick with it.
2nd and 3, up to 92 yards in the game. And here he goes again, and he gets stuffed short of the first down. So the last 2 series, good first down production by both teams, but they can't convert. And it's going to be 3rd and 1.5 yards. He didn't go 3rd and 1 on the Argos side of half, so be surprised if he leaves them out here, but he's thinking about it.
Trying to talk the officials into taking the chains out and getting a measurement. No. They're not going to go there because it's over a yard.
It was longer than the one he passed up on earlier in this quarter. Mike, a Toronto native. Family here tonight in support. Sends Ricky Schmidt out, and Brendan Smith goes back for Toronto. Low snap, scooped up. Might be a return here by Smith. Up across the 40. Bouncing it outside, but wrestled down right at the 40-yard line. Jason Araki on the stop. Great feature as they support high school football across the country. Tonight we salute a Vancouver area school.
Yeah, John Pankratz, alum. Glenn Anderson of the great Oiler days with Gretzky and Messier and all of those guys. And, of course, wow, Michael J. Fox, also alum of this school. It just keeps getting better. Wait a minute.
No,
wow.
wait a minute.
Well, hold on.
We're going to put him in that same group.
Okay. He's in there as well, Farhan Lalji, and this is Burnaby Central.
The former Wildcat, Farhan Lalji.
Remember Family Ties with Michael J. Fox? Am I dating myself on that one?
That's dating me as well.
It's going way back.
And they had a couple of second in the provincial championships.
This is a great program. They're going to rebuild the football program at Burnaby Central Secondary, and
we know how good high school football is in the Vancouver area, the Lower Mainland. And we'll give credit in part to Lalji for that.
Yeah, high school football coach in the Lower Mainland.
Well, they played to a standstill in this 3rd quarter. First down Argos. There's a completion to Sinkfield, and he's got a first down up across the 50-yard line. Yeah, I remember Family Ties. I don't know if everybody does.
Well, remember there was Alex P. Keaton. That was played by Michael J. Fox. Steve and Elise were the mom and dad. Of course, Mallory and Jennifer were in the family. And then there was the character that was the neighbor who was called Skippy. And apparently, this is inside info, but that Farhan Lalji actually auditioned for that role.
I hope he didn't.
He didn't get it, and we just thought we'd take a look at what it might have looked like had he got the part.
Here's Curtis Steele. Straight ahead and brought down by Elamimian. Argos move it into Lion territory.
99.9% of our audience are going, what are you guys talking about? Family Ties was a long time ago. That's how Michael J. Fox got his start, though.
Number 1
television, absolutely.
There's the number 1 tackler in the CFL. And if he breaks J.C. Sherritt's record, we're going to have an interesting debate about who the best defensive player in the league is. Pass out of the backfield, and Steele is cut down. There's Ronnie Yell on the corner. Boy, the corners, the young corners have played well tonight. Yelling at a new spot than TJ Lee on the wide side corner.
Eastern Washington and San Jose State, and you're right, they have stepped up. Anytime they've been challenged or tested, they've answered the bell, and that's another big hit. That's why he's so aggressive. I mean, even when he was playing the wide field, Ronnie Yell was coming up that quickly on little hit screens, things like that. Putting on big hits.
3rd straight series where first downs produced at least 7 yards, and they haven't got a first down out of it. And Waters sails this one through, and it'll be a single point. And Not sure that was the intent, but it does get the Argos within 3. It's a 71-yard rouge for Swayze Waters as this defensive battle continues. TA and TSN Go. You know where we are tonight. With the roof open.
Yeah, nice night in the Toronto area. Great night for football. We just got to see some offense now.
3-point game. Lions take over at their own 35. And Kevin Glenn throwing it downfield in a battle. And the pass incomplete. They're going to argue about the fact that the shoulder Marco Iannuzzi, the pads are out with a little grab, but no flag.
Yeah, he got away with one here.
And the challenge is being thrown by Mike Benavides.
Yeah, Mike Benavides wanted to take a look. There was a grab on the jersey for most of this run. And then when you take a look at that replay, you see a little pushing there for Marco Iannuzzi as well. So, I mean, that is often a dead giveaway.
I got a Rob Ford story.
Okay.
Only because it's Marco Iannuzzi, who was walking around town yesterday, saw the mayor, said, "Are you coming to the game tomorrow?" And the mayor, without...
BC is challenging the ruling of the field of an incomplete pass. They believe it was defensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
The mayor said without hesitation, 870, knew Marco Iannuzzi's number, said, "I'll be there."
Wow.
And actually took the Lions receiver out to dinner.
This is an interesting one because there's hand fighting going on. You're allowed to hand fight back and forth. What's illegal about this play is the grab of the jersey, obviously. Had Brendan Smith not grabbed the jersey, I don't think there's any call to be made here, because the hand fighting would be let go automatically. I don't think they would overturn that. But the fact that the jersey came down and was grabbed it as long as it was for about 10-15 yards, this one may be overturned.
Do you think because Iannuzzi was holding on to Smith while he was holding on to the jersey mitigates things at all? Or not?
Well, no, because I think Smith's allowed to chop Iannuzzi's hand away or actually grab and pull it towards him, but he can't grab that jersey. That's...
After review, there's not enough evidence to change the ruling on the field. It is an incomplete pass. However, on the play, we had a chop block, major foul, chop block, BC number 50.
Whoa.
We'll go back from the previous line of scrimmage, 15 yards. It will be second down.
So that double...
There's the danger with the challenge. The command center can go back and look at the entire play. And boy, surprising that on a play upfield, they caught a Fabian chop block.
Chop block is basically when one lineman is engaged, you can't go down low on another one.
So a 15-yard penalty when it looked like the Lions had a decent shot of winning a challenge and having a first down near midfield.
Yeah, we're gonna sort this out for Lions fans here, because that Fabian block wasn't a chop block. That was a cut block, which is legal. So let's go back and show you the penalty here. It looked like to me it was the other side, right here in Dean Valley. Now watch. The chop block is when one player is engaged with another, and then you go down. And that's where the chop block occurred, on the opposite side of the O-line. The Kirby Fabian hit was legal. You're allowed to cut block.
So they get the number wrong, and I can identify with that. Especially tonight. Flag down, Brendan Smith. Trying to find an opening, and none there. 44-yard punt, no return, but a no yards penalty. And this defensive standoff continues.
Well, one way you can beat pressure is screen drop. And I haven't seen a lot of it. We've seen both teams try to go to the run game. Curtis Steele for the Argos or Stephen Logan for the Lions.
BC number 28, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Paul Johnson in that halo, 5 yards.
But why I like screen in that kind of scenario is because when that defensive line and then the linebacker added in, maybe 5 rushers are coming up the field, you take advantage of that aggression by dumping the screen pass right in behind them.
Ray going to the wide side. Darvin Adams can't pull that down. Cam Newton's favorite target at Auburn's had a tough night. And it will be 2nd and 10.
Auburn, South Carolina. He had 7 for 217 yards.
In the SEC championship game, a couple touchdowns. Physical receiver. Scott Milanovich loves the way he blocks. 2nd and 10. Ray underneath. Pass complete. And Bradwell close to a first down. There's Elamimian with the tackle at the 53. Is that enough? Very close to the first down.
We're tracking Solomon Elamimian's tackles right now. That will be his 4th in this game. 58th on the season. I went back and looked at J.C. Sherritt's totals at this time of the year, and it was 58 for J.C. Sherritt in 2012 when he broke the record with 130.
Was a first down. Bradwell on the move out of the backfield. And Ray in trouble. Does dish it off, and that play not going anywhere. Jeremiah Johnson is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Ray avoids the sack, but they'll take a loss nonetheless. A loss of 4.
Again, let me show you what I mean by a screen possibility here. If you double screen even with both backs, get them out of the backfield in behind this pressure from the BC Lions. Again, you take a look, it's just 5 guys, so there's one-on-ones across the board, but the Lions are winning the one-on-ones right now. Try and screen it in behind, get it back in a one-on-one out in the open field on a guy like Elamimian or Big Hill.
2nd and 14 again. Bradwell on the waggle. More pressure, but this time they get it away. Good call. Glenn Suter and Jeremiah Johnson has a first down. And ducks inside the 40, out at the 38. Well, the safety playing OC here was looking for that call.
It's just, it's one that can take advantage of the aggressive pass rush. When you got guys that are coming so hard, you can dump it in behind them to Jeremiah Johnson. Just take a 2 count and then just dump it in behind him. Now you get one guy on Solomon Elamimian, and you got to play.
23 yards for Johnson out of the backfield. First down for the Argos in the late stages of this 3rd quarter. Back inside, Curtis Steele plows to the 33 and has 5. Argos in field goal position here to tie it, but looking for more.
It's a great matchup to watch Solomon Elamimian play against Curtis Steele. Whether it's the run game or even when they put Jeremiah Johnson in. All the little indicators that I'm watching, Solomon Elamimian is so quick to the football.
Second and 5, here they come. Ray hit hard, downfield, incomplete, and a flag on the hit. Off the edge on Ricky Ray.
Let's take a look at it. Torrey Williams is arguing his case.
Roughing the passer, BC number 13, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Did he hit him around the helmet? Because the timing didn't look bad.
No, the timing didn't look bad at all. In fact, it looked like Ray was just trying to get rid of this before they hit. Here he comes, free off the edge. And he did.
Forearm on the back of the helmet.
That's right. And showed it, declared it almost as he was coming down with that left arm, forearm to the back of Ricky Ray's head.
So a couple of major fouls for Williams in the game.
And he takes a spot on the bench.
And the Argos on the final play of this 3rd quarter, first down at the 18. More pressure, and that one thrown away. Receiver covered, but the heat was on again, as it's been throughout the night. But the Argos in position to tie it. 3-point game through 45 minutes. Stefan Logan's been a tough man to stop, but for the most part, the defenses have been winning the battles.
Both teams, it's not only the pressure. I think both teams tonight are tackling very well as I've seen all season long. It's the secondary, we've seen both the corners for the Lions come up and make tackles. Solomon Elimimian for the Lions as well. We're going to get the official word on his total tackles so far tonight, but defensive struggle.
I think the concern in Toronto was a 4-day break, that the fourth quarter might be a tough one for the Argos, but you see they've had the football for a 5-minute advantage. Does that mitigate a little bit of that?
A little bit for their defense. They keep their defense off the field in those 3 quarters a little bit more, so they should have a little more energy in the fourth. But again, it'll be that one big play that breaks this one open. Both these offenses capable of the big play, but we just haven't seen missed tackles tonight.
No evidence of it tonight. Ricky Ray hasn't had a lot of time, and nor has Kevin Glenn. Second and 10, 7th play of the drive for the Argos. A drive that started at their own 43. Bradwell stays in. Ricky Ray looks down the sideline. The Sinkfield on the put in, yes, touchdown, Terrell Sinkfield.
That's the question, did he have a foot in? There's the accuracy from 15. Put it up there only where Sinkfield could get to it.
First CFL touchdown if he indeed got a foot down. And we'll need confirmation from the command center.
Now, this is a nice catch. This is a real nice catch. Does he have a foot in bounds is the only question. Climbs the ladder to go get it, and I think he does. The left foot down in bounds. Just need a big play to maybe open this one up.
First lead of the night.
Glory to God right now. Glory to God. Hey, touchdown. Let's go. Hey.
First CFL touchdown for the Minnesota native.
Come on, dog. Already got it.
Mentioned it before, he had an outstanding preseason game against Hamilton. Over 100 yards in that game, a touchdown, a big return, and now celebrates his first official CFL touchdown to put the Argos in the lead.
Well, he got up there. He climbed the ladder to go get it. Ray put it real high so it was out over top the corner for the BC Lions, but only his receiver was able to get it.
Got himself a souvenir.
Just a nice go route down the sideline. Looks like it's into the boundary. Ronnie Yell got caught maybe peeking back at Ricky Ray a little bit too long, and then he gets into a bit of a scramble to try and catch up to Sinkfield.
Touchdown pass by Ray. Mark Washington shows his frustration. And that's the 11th different receiver with a touchdown for the Argos this year.
You gotta finish the game. Yeah. Glory to God. Rest in peace, Mike Brown.
Tim Brown back from his 17. And Brown with another good return beyond the 40. So for the first time tonight, Kevin Glenn and the Lions in the trail position.
And for one of the few times tonight on that touchdown throw by Ricky Ray, he has good protection up front. 5 offensive linemen. And watch him hold off. Go ahead and run it, guys. They're going to hold off the defensive line for the Lions just long enough for Ray to step up in the pocket. He can follow through and put that right where he wanted to.
Lions with just 106 yards passing so far tonight. They worked this guy over, and another good run by Stefan Logan, tackled by Sheen Horton, getting close to 100. And does that put him over in the vicinity for Stefan Logan? And
1 yard to go.
Statistician John Russin letting us know he's at 99. Second and 5. Here comes pressure. Pass is complete. And getting away is Courtney Taylor with the grab. And he's all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Big plays come in bunches. It doesn't matter which team, and this is one of the few missed tackles we've seen in this game, but once you get one, all it takes to create a big play. Let's see who missed the tackle. Courtney Taylor runs this little curl ball right on him, and it's Dwight Anderson.
6th in receiving coming into this game. Taylor's been shaken up after the 39-yard play. And Kevin Glenn, who was hurt last week in the game, a bruised thigh, is on the limp as well.
Actually, walked over and then took a knee. As they're looking at Courtney Taylor, he's still trying to work that out.
So Taylor has to leave for 3 plays, and that one has put Kevin Glenn up another notch on the all-time passing list. He just went by Doug Flutie with this 39-yard completion to Courtney Taylor.
Needed 141 coming in. He's now in 8th spot.
So the Lions in business. And Kevin Glenn delivers high off the fingertips of the intended target, Dianuzzi, and Glenn a little slow to get up. But boy, you're saying something when you just passed Doug Flutie on any CFL quarterbacking list.
You know, I mean, Kevin Glenn wants to play a couple more years. He told me early in the season 2 or 3 more. I mean, he could get to the 50,000 club.
Well, he told the guys last week, the Hamilton game, he's got number 7 in his sights.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a couple of years for that.
2nd and 10. Lions down by 4. Pressure off the edge, going to take a shot, and this one overthrowing the target, incomplete.
Argos sending Shane Horton, Antoine Molden both blitzing in the last 2 plays.
Couldn't hook up with Sean Gore, but the Taylor completion gets them into field goal range, and Paul McCallum comes on. $19 for 20, and now a 32-yard attempt to make it a 1-point game. And McCallum, good as always. And the Lions within 1. But Ricky Reyes, the Argos, in the lead on this strike to Terrell Sinkfield. 4th quarter. Solomon Elimimian with 7 more tackles tonight, with almost a 4th quarter still to go.
Yeah, he's right on his pace. That would end at 139 if he continues on this pace. That would be 9 more than J.C. Sherrick 2002 or 12 record. Lots of time to add to the total and get to double digits.
Good run on first down for Curtis Steele. Jamal Johnson in on the stop. Mike Benavides appreciating the work of his middle linebacker so far this year.
He's a dominant player, a confident player, a guy that plays with tremendous physicality and just a dominant performance. You know, we always talk about a defense has to be dominant, physical, almost to the point that you intimidate. And Solomon is playing outstanding football. And I'm excited to see him wearing all that black uniform again, because he seems to play like a superhero on that.
Speaking of superheroes, is that Bazzi again?
Yeah, he's involved. I mean, it's just, to me, it's how quickly that Solomon Elimimian gets to the play, gets to the football. And that's not just his physical talents and strength and speed. It's also the film work that he does and the indicators, watching a running back and all what they like to do. If there's anything that'll tip him off to get to the play or to the ball quicker, Solomon Elimimian's excellent at it.
Wayne Smith shaken up. Well, Elimimian credits a lot of his success this year to the coaching of John Holland, the former Green Bay Packer, who in his own right had 6 seasons of 100 tackles or more. And Elimimian feels that Holland's tutelage has taken him to a different level.
I just want to, explain to young kids that are watching and want to play like Solomon Elimimian is that it's not just how physical you are or if you're real fast. I mean, you can be a great tackler. J.C. Sherritt's not a big physical player, but a great tackler. Does his film work, gets the football. Watch how quickly he closes, and he's a striker when he gets there for Solomon Elimimian. But it's also all the work he does in the film room and looking for those little cheat notes. And what that is, sometimes a running back will give away where he's going to go. Even though at the pro level you expect him to just be staring right down Main Street when those running backs are at the line of scrimmage and looking, they're saying, I don't want to tip off what side I'm going to run the football here. And Curtis Steele tonight has lined up, and watch how he's looking at Solomon Elimimian looking around. Now, he should be looking straight down at him, not looking, okay, I'm going to the left, I'm going to the left, I'm going to... He gave him a little tip away there. Little tip that because he's going to look at that hole, that gives Solomon Elimimian a half step.
There's the 100, 56-44. They talk about nobody gets through the 100. And Wayne Smith slowly to the sidelines.
Back to the movies. That's like the 300. Is that what you're talking about? Their version of it.
We've got a movie update here, by the way.
Oh, we do. Twitter was going nuts, wasn't it?
Waters kicking it, and a big return for Tim Brown once again. How about Tim Brown? And he's still going. They didn't bring him down, and he's got extra yards to the sidelines and into field goal range. The former BC Lion, James Jurachuk, finally drags him down. What a night for Tim Brown. Yard return to set up a Lion touchdown. This time it's 68 yards on a fourth quarter punt return.
It's a nice block by TJ Lee, the corner, and Lee right here steps up and gets that block to get him the edge, but it was the fact that Lee got in front of the tackler for the Toronto Argonauts and didn't take the clip. He was right on that bubble area where you could hit the shoulder and take a clipping call there. He doesn't. Big return from Tim Brown.
Here's the fly sweep that is denied. Logan Harrell with the quick tackle on Sean Gore.
Yeah, Harrell just slapped that fly.
Fifth run of the year for Gore, but the big guy inside with the long mane out of Fresno State's making a name for himself with the Argos.
Scott Milanovich told me a couple of weeks ago that his motor, he's one of those guys that just full speed every single play, does not take one off.
Just a yard for Gore. It's 2nd and 9. There comes Harrell, and the pass was hurried and incomplete to Tim Brown, but 77 was on the prowl again.
Well, there's that motor we're talking about, and you should see this swim move. He has gone past Matt Norman. Basically, while he's snapping the football, he gets shot out of a cannon here, number 77, out and around, little push away of the arms, and he's in there. Actually, not a swim, he just knocked the arms off Matt Norman so he could go run right by him.
But thanks to the Brown return, the Lions are in field goal range and a chance to regain the lead off the foot of McCallum from 27 yards out. And as always, McCallum money. And the Lions regain the lead with 9.5 to go, fourth quarter. Argos have opted to return it.
Lions got the lead, but the Argos won that exchange with a big Tim Brown return to hold BC to a field goal is a win for Toronto, even though BC got the lead in the game.
A little surprised they didn't take it at the 35. We'll see how good a decision it is. What's Sinkfield's done? And Sinkfield with contact at the 20 gets only to the 25.
A couple of BC Lion defenders have had a big night. Alex Bazzi's been all over the football. TJ Lee starting at that wide side corner beside Ryan Phillips has made some plays. The Argos went after him early. He got the knockdown on the deep throw from Ricky Ray. Caused some fumbles. We showed you that great block he made on the Tim Brown return. Did a nice job to get in front of that tackler and not get the holding call or the clipping call.
Ray short drop, going to the sidelines and incomplete. Didn't look like the timing was right on that as he tries to hook up with Sinkfield. 20 for 33 on the night, 173 yards in the game for Ricky Ray.
I mentioned Alex Bazzi. Steve Daniel from the league office has sent us a quick stat that he has 4 tackles for losses tonight, and that would make it an 8th tackle for loss on the season.
And they're not as glamorous as sacks, but they're just as important.
Well, they're the same thing. It's just a running back in the backfield.
Ray on second down, sidearms to Bradwell, and they gain tackle. Bradwell, there's Big Hill, 44, with some help from Ronnie Yeld. And it's a quick 2-and-out provided by the Lions' stout defense. Travis Lulay's been busy on the sidelines warming up. Not sure if that is forecasting that he's coming in. Jim Brown getting ready to do it again. Big night for Brown. He's a special teams player of the week candidate, although he is swarmed this time. 5 yards on the return after a 45-yard TSN.ca and TSN Go.
Here's Kevin Glenn. But you're right. Lulay's been warming up, and he was throwing with Emmanuel Arsenault.
Under 8 to go. First down, 43-yard line. Here's Logan. That'll get him 100 yards and more. Tackled by the safety, Jermaine Gabriel, but it's been a good night for Stefan Logan.
Well, they got the 3-way deal there. When you have Stephen Logan, you have Tim Brown that you can rotate through. He can play some offensive snaps as well. And of course, Andrew Harris on the shelf right now. It's good that Mike Benavides was able to rest Andrew Harris with that kind of talent behind him.
10 for number 10 and 109 on the night. So he has his 5th career 100-yard game, second against the Double Blue. And has it again. And squeezes into Argo territory, marking him at the 53.
Better average tonight for Stefan Logan.
Missing Andrew Harris tonight. We mentioned 31% of the Lions offense, 410 yards rushing, 371 receiving. And may see him next week against the Saskatchewan Roughriders in Vancouver. That pass complete. And getting away is Manny Arsenault. And Arsenault has a touchdown. Arsenault bounces off contact and takes it to the house for a 53-yard major score.
Now we talked about deep into the fourth quarter with the Toronto Argonauts on the short week start to show signs of fatigue with just 4 days of preparation. And one of the signs of fatigue is missed tackles. It looked like Arsenault was wrapped up there, but
neither Gabriel or Jalot Carter could bring him down. And Arsenault takes it in for his 5th touchdown. And a little high five from the usher underneath the stands here. 3rd catch of the night, 81 yards for Arsenault.
Shout out to the O-line quarterback. It's a team thing. It ain't about me. But stay tuned to the Manny Show. O-line gets credit.
It isn't about me, but stay tuned for the Manny Show. I love it. 4 receivers to the right side of the formation, and Manny Arsenault is running that deep crosser. Jermaine Gabriel just goes low on him, tries to cut the legs out from underneath Arsenault, and doesn't wrap up. He runs right through that hit. And then he just, and I loved how he finishes. Finish full speed. Don't start jogging or dancing as you're going into the thing. And the usher got a little wake-up call there. Hey, well, high five.
Only Chad Owens has more yards per game receiving this year than Arsenault.
Is a Toronto usher allowed to high-five the opposition? I'm
not good for job security.
I knew they was going to bounce off me, though.
And that could cost me.
So it's a Lion lead of 26-17. Sinkfield on the return. Winds his way up to the 26, but Ricky Ray's got some work to do now with under 6 minutes to go. Down by 2 scores.
Work to do with the defensive line for the Lions that know one thing, that the clock is now working against Ricky Ray, and that he's going to have to start putting the football up in the air and try and looking through those intermediate zones and into the deep zones. Got to have time to do that.
Lions won 10 of their last 12 meetings against the Argos. 5 receivers underneath. Nice catch. Good grab by Sinkfield off his shoe tops. Only 5, but gives them more options on second down.
And can go to the tailback and incur a steal on second down, 2nd and 5. That was a tough catch.
Big Hill right there to prevent any damage. And Mike Benavides was talking about that Adam Big Hill at the will linebacker spot can cover any receiver. And here's one of the fastest guys in the league in Sinkfield, and Big Hill tracked him. Here's a pass up, grabs, and Sinkfield couldn't bring it down and might have made a defensive play there because there were Lions in the area.
I agree. I think, there were a couple Lions breaking on it. Ryan Phillips was there, J.R. LaRose was there, and I think Sinkfield felt that, 1, he was going to get rocked here, or 2, this one may have been picked off, but turned defensive back in a hurry.
Tim Brown at his 25. And this time they contain him. Vince Agnew's been one of the best downfield tonight. You're a check there as well, and a flag on what looked like an illegal block. Illegal block or no yards.
Taking a while to discuss this one.
Or was he pushed into the no yards area?
During the return, illegal block. BC number 17, 10-yard penalty.
Wow.
First down.
So it was an illegal block against TJ Lee.
Mike Benavides not happy. Remember when we showed you Lee getting around in front of the last one on the big Tim Brown return? Well, this time he just doesn't have the speed to get there. On this play, bumps Agnew in the back. And that's enough for the clipping call. So you get a plus and a minus, 2 separate punt returns.
That plus was a big plus, though.
Turned into 3.
Under 4.5 to go. They feed Logan again, and he has room outside. And a tightrope it there, but is out at the 35, but he's had plenty of pep in his step tonight. And 19 more for Stephen Logan. I think this is the guy we were expecting to see on his return. Best game of 2014.
And this Argo defense has been very good against the run the last couple of weeks. Against Montreal, just 44 yards rushing allowed. Against Winnipeg, 80. Over 100 for Logan.
Good snap to Logan. Following the block, and Shea Emery gets in there to make the tackle as Hunter Stewart was out in front of Logan. Couple for Logan, who heads to the sideline, 2nd and 8.
I've had to turn, Chris, my phone upside down here in the booth because of the Twitter mania on the movies that we discussed in the first half.
We missed a few apparently, although I wasn't in the meeting, but I've got votes for the program, which I'm being told is highly recommended.
Okay,
Replacements.
Yeah, the
Jerry
replacements.
Maguire, radio, underrated. There's a completion and a conversion. And Ernest Jackson with his second catch of the night to move the chains and keep it out of the hands of the Argos.
Well, this is what the crew and I put together, and we did a scientific study. Everyone had their votes and how you ranked them, and that's how we got it. Longest yard, 1 out over Brian Song, barely.
A lot of remember the Titans support that should be higher, and yes, folks, North Dallas 40's on the list.
And the one that Jock Climby, I heard, wanted was Wildcats with Goldie Hawn, but that didn't make our top 10. Sorry, Jock.
And Waterboy and Gus don't count.
They don't get there, no.
Run for Brown off the right side up to the 50 as the clock is starting to tick away on the Argos. That big play by Manny Arsenault made it a 2-score lead. BC in command at the 3-minute warning in Toronto.
2 big plays. One of these teams has got to make that big play, make a guy miss, break a tackle, something like that. I think Manny Arsenault is the play that may be the difference maker.
Well, the fourth quarter, Tim Brown, the big punt return, got them the lead back, and then Arsenault has put them in this commanding position. Argos need the back and need a stop on second down, and incomplete, but that ball was in Dwight Anderson's neighborhood, and that was dangerously close to a pick six.
Well, I was going to say, had Dwight Anderson not locked himself into the fact he wanted to make a big hit here, you know, I think he picks this ball up and he goes to the house untouched. Because the reaction, you see, he was locked in 3 or 4 steps away from Tim Brown. And he just come up ready to react one way or another. He scores.
Low snap, fielded by Schmidt, and he blasts one. Brendan Smith back at the 15, and he's going to get wrestled down short of the 20-yard line, and we got a full rugby scrum going on there. 54-yard boot, 13 on the return, and time running out on the Argos, who need 2 scores.
Yeah, 2 possessions, a short week. The gas tank's got to be dead empty right now for Scott Milanovich's group, but they've got to try and dig down deep here now and make something happen. I mean, they have to put it up for that PI call or a deep play that they can get big chunky yardage here.
Ray to the sidelines, and that he is picked off. Ronnie Yell down the sidelines. Second pick six for Yell on the season.
Well, he went up and got it. I don't think Ricky Ray thought for a second that Ronnie Yell had these kind of jumps. I mean, he just got up and stole that one.
Well, he did it earlier this season and on the wide side, and tonight on the short side, he takes one from Ricky Ray back for a touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you, he goes up. I don't think Ricky Ray thought for a second he was going to be able to
get up that high to bring that one down. I mean, Ronnie Yell climbs the ladder. That was an athletic interception.
Pretty good percentage. 2 interceptions on the year, 2 touchdowns for Yell. One of the young guys that the Lions are so excited about on defense, and we've seen them showcase tonight. Bazzi and Yell. TJ Lee's had a good night.
Well, Dante Marsh is a perennial all-star, the short side corner, but I think they may have found the next one. I'm not ending Dante Marsh's career by any stretch of the imagination, but he plays a similar style. They like the aggressiveness. Shows you his athleticism. I mean, Ray put it up. Thinking no way he could get up there to get that.
Unnecessary roughness. Toronto number 91. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
The defensive coordinator liked it. So does the head coach. And that should wrap it up here for the BC Lions, now up 33-17. So 17 unanswered points for the Lions here after Scott Milanovich's crew took their first lead of the night.
What up, Bobby? This kid on. Right here. Hey, we got it. You're out of there. We're going to defense. We got to play defense. Good job. Stay out, Yeller.
And Coach Mike Benavides, while they're celebrating, yeah, we got to play defense again. Remember, after an interception touchdown, you'll get focused and get ready to play some defense for a minute 56.
Go over to the receivers. They don't have to go out. I'll save it over there.
Go and enjoy it over there with them.
Penalty on Palugo on the convert. Moved up the kickoff and deep in their own zone. Are they going to bring it out? Oh, there's a wrong decision. Robert Gill doesn't reach the 5.
Well, all of a sudden, Ricky Ray, just looking at one of the worst outings for him in 2014. He has 181 yards passing. He's below 60% at 59.4. Coming off a game where he is over 75% against Winnipeg. And now with the interception for a touchdown.
And I know a storyline that intrigued you was it's going to make it difficult for him to hit 50,000 next week in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Which
great point.
Would have been interesting.
He's averaging around 271.
Going to run out of the pocket here. And let's see how far he gets. Dragged down, first down. But late in the game, you don't want to see him risk anything. And that run was fraught with peril.
Yeah, and so much so that Scott Milanovic likely said that in his helmet. Throw it away.
Short drop, flag down. Pass is caught by Sickfield. And up close to the 25-yard line. It's a first down, but there are flags.
Ricky Ray coming in, as you mentioned, Chris, 548. Now his biggest game of his career was last year against Winnipeg. I believe it was a 507.
Too many men on the defense. This is a 10-yard penalty and a first down.
So he was averaging around 270, 275. I think he even got up after last week to 280 on average. So now you take a look at that race, and he's at 367, depending on what he gets here in the last minute and a bit. He's going to need a big game to do it in Edmonton.
And that pass batted down back to him, and he'll hit the dirt. He had one in the Grey Cup back in 2005, batted back to him, and he threw it into the end zone.
Wow, good memory.
Well, it may not be correct, but it rings a bell, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've seen it before. Well, that's unusual.
Can't throw it again, by the way. So he knew that immediately. All he can do is either go and get what he can now.
Oh, look out. That's a chance for another pick six, but this time it's at the other corner, TJ Lee. Or is it Torrey Williams? Torrey Williams with the interception. Third interception of the game, but that was dangerously close to back-to-back pick sixes on Ricky Ray. And Sickfield saves the touchdown.
It's a lot of fun for DB. We got the lead, the game's in hand, and now you're trying to pad some stats a little bit, jumping things you wouldn't jump when the game's in the balance.
Lions had only 5 interceptions on the season coming in, but they picked off Ricky Ray 3 times tonight. And Lule will finish it off. Just over a minute left. The Lions get set for a game a week from today that everybody's looking forward to against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah.
And the Argos, as mentioned, will play against Edmonton.
Well, that's why this is interesting and how Mike Benavides has played Travis Lule a little bit tonight. And
timeout, Toronto.
You know, play him in 2 or 3 series to get used to that game speed again. Take some hits in live action, because is it going to be that Saskatchewan game where he pulls the trigger and says, okay, Lule, you're ready, let's go? Because after Saskatchewan, the Lions have a bye, I believe, and then that would be another full week of rest for Lule. So he'd be basically 3 or 4 weeks after being kind of declared at 100% to go and dress again, if they waited till after the bye. But got him in the game tonight. Does that mean he starts against the Riders?
Trying to get him up to game speed, and you wonder if that'll factor into getting him in quicker sooner than later. Well, we're going to give the Lions the win here that keeps them paced with everybody else in the Wild West. Look at those standings. 2 wins, 2 teams with 6 wins, 3 with 5. And that's why Saskatchewan, BC is going to be so interesting next week.
Kevin Glenn just signaling to us that he's all good.
By the way, I gave Ricky Ray 1 too many interceptions, just 2 tonight. 1 for a touchdown and 1 that almost was in for a touchdown. And here's Tim Brown running it down to the 5. And so the East continues their woes.
Ottawa close this week. Hamilton close this week against Calgary.
Alouettes
push the Riders, absolutely. And Toronto, this game in the balance until really Tim Brown with the return, and then Manny Arsenal with the big play and deep into the 4th quarter that turned it.
And all the close means is that the West has won 19 of 22 against the East. Brown, the run, getting close to the goal line, and Logan Harrell with the stop to prevent a touchdown.
That's one that, you know, there are no moral victories. You either win or lose, and it's a game of results. But that's one that the Argos will be able to go back to the film and take a look and say, okay, you know, you guys, game was over inside the 5-yard line and played hard to keep Tim Brown out of the end zone. And that was the type of effort you want on a short week. The guys are out of gas. Not a good night for Ricky Ray.
Lions look to the bench. Mike Benavides wants them in victory formation. They won't try and score here. A knee down and the game is over. The Argos had a 1-point lead in the 4th quarter, but 17 straight for Mike Benavides' team. And the Lions prevailed to go to 5-3. Kevin Glenn's got ice on the knee, but he says he's okay. Ricky Ray and the Argos